Alright, you guys, I am back for another Fried Friday video. Today we are doing a fried crudite platter. If you don't know what crudite is, it's nothing but a fancy French word for a vegetable platter. Usually raw vegetables, sometimes mildly cooked, whatever. Um, Nonetheless, that's what I'm doing. Um, might not be up everybody's alley. However, doing something for my vegetarians or people. If you're not a vegetarian and you just like vegetables or you want some fried vegetables, I like vegetables. I'm not a vegetarian or anything like that. However, I do love vegetables. So, and I also enjoy my fried food from time to time. As you guys can see, I'm doing fried Fridays. um so fried vegetables, I'm going to do fried green tomatoes, which I absolutely love, some fried mushrooms, some fried yellow bell peppers. I love the sweetness of yellow bell peppers. They are absolutely amazing. And I'm going to do one raw meat element. Technically, it's raw. It's turkey pepperoni. I love turkey pepperoni. It is delicious. Um, so, yeah. Um, I'm using rice flour. It's gluten-free flour. Um, Basically ground down rice. Um, and I use it for a couple reasons. One, I like the crispiness and crunch that it gives to it a little bit better than regular flour, which is awesome. Um, I've done a lot of research and they say gluten actually is really bad for you. And the studies that I've looked at, looking at what it does to your insides, it looks disgusting. Okay. Um, and two, it's great for people who can't have wheat, who have either a gluten intolerance or who have celiac disease. My mother is gluten intolerant. She does not have celiac disease, however, she is gluten intolerant. So this is something that she can enjoy that's fried also with that same type of breaded texture. And, she doesn't have to worry about getting sick from it. So I've already got my yellow bell peppers cut up. They're in some water, room temperature water. The water is salted. Let me go ahead. I'm going to add some in this flour here, get them coated nicely. I put them in still a little wet, which helps them to get that kind of batter type effect on them when I put them in the flour. They're not going to take long at all. That way they're not soaked and I don't have like a bunch of batter. I'm not a big fan of that. So honestly, on top of that, this is like my first time doing this particular method with bell peppers. So we'll see how it turns out. The flour is, of course, it is seasoned. It's not heavily seasoned or anything like that, but it's seasoned where it's just enough where it gives that, outside a little bit of extra flavor. All right. From there, I'm going to take my hand that has no glove on it. My hands have been washed, mind you, and kind of give a quick shake. You don't want the excess water, and toss a couple more of these into the batter. I tried to cut them all pretty much the same size. The biggest reason for trying to make them as uniform as possible is simply so that they cook evenly and at the same time. You don't want to have to leave one in longer than the other. You want to try to get everybody in the pot same time, get everybody out the pot same time. And then as I need more flour, I just kind of sprinkle it over. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get these coated here and go from there. Those actually, like I said, they don't take long at all, so you might want to watch them. So yeah, and because you still want them to have some crispiness, some crunchiness to them. You know pretty much when fried food is done when it floats to the top, okay? Like, that's a good telltale sign that your food is done. You don't want to leave it in too long after it's floated to the top, because then you run the risk of it burning. You don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead, get all of these in, and then with the mushrooms, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a couple of them whole, although I'm not sure. I usually cut them, chop them down some, make them like little nice bite sizes. I think what I'm going to do is a little bit of each direction, each way. And yeah. And we will see which way works better. Go ahead and batter this last batch. Y'all probably hear, I don't know if you guys can hear, Frozen is playing in the background. It just went off, so on my end it's a bit loud. My son was watching Frozen earlier. Not gonna lie, pretty darn great movie. But yeah. Woo. Okay. So, time to get those out. And I'm going to take this glove off and switch gloves. Alright. Another thing, depending on how many you're putting in your pot, just be careful that you move them around some, only to make sure that they don't stick together, okay? Like, that's kind of important. You don't want them to stick because, you know, you've got that batter. All right, I completely forgot that I had one last set to do, and I took my glove off. Oh well, it is what it is at this point. And just remember, don't overcrowd. Your pan, ever. You never want to overcrowd your pan. So I'm gonna go wash my hands, take a couple mushrooms with me to wash off. Always wash all your vegetables first. Like, you never want to use unwashed vegetables. You don't know where they've been. I don't care whether you get them from the market, you get them from the store. Doesn't matter. Wash your fruits, wash your vegetables. Shoot, reality, wash your meats, okay? Wash your meats anyway. It's important. Alright. I'm going to go ahead. This one is a pretty big one, so I'm going to cut this one up into smaller pieces. It's going right into the salt water. You know what, you guys? I changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dice them all. Okay? I'm going to cut them all up like this. I eat the stems, so yeah, I eat the stems. In this sense, it's no big deal. Like, eating the stems does not hurt you any. So if you want to leave the stems on, then you leave the stems on. By the way, these are baby bella mushrooms. So yeah. These are done. Yay. So all of our peppers at this point are done. We're going to take those out. And try to shake off some of the excess grease before putting it onto your thing for them to drain. Okay? Otherwise you'll find yourself like adding you're needing more paper towels or something sooner. Alright, so next set, if I could get the glove on my hand, y'all. Like, for real. That's the only bad thing. Gloves and wet hands don't mix. Alright, so mushrooms are in the water. Like I said, I'm using baby bella mushrooms. And I'm gonna go ahead, give a couple of these a good shake. Reality is you can cook more of these at once than you can of the peppers. Add a little bit more flour. So the good thing is I'm using literally the same flour cooked with the same seasonings in it, because what it does is it pulls everything together, but at the same time everything's got a different flavor. You want all your stuff to kind of mesh. You don't want everything to be all crazy and all kinds of different and stuff. I'm making a mess, y'all. Like, for real, I'm making a mess. And I'm gonna have to clean up. Okay, so mushrooms are now coated. Can start going ahead and dropping them in. And the good thing, like I said, these are not, doing it this way, they aren't heavily coated. So it's not so much extra breading. You still got something it's healthy, but it's unhealthy. You know, gives you, when you're craving something fried, but something healthy all at the same time. Really nice snack. I'm using canola oil. If you're not using a deep fryer or you're using a pan, coconut oil is really good also. Only thing, coconut oil does have a high smoke content, so you have to be cautious of that. It can get real smoky real fast. So yeah, but coconut oil is really good. Coconut oil actually, from the studies that I have seen, supposed to be really good for memory. Even potentially people with possibly Alzheimer's, dementia, stuff like that, like, it can possibly help prevent that. Now, I don't know if it's 100% true. However, the studies have shown 100%. Like, there's been multiple studies showing how good it is actually for your brain, for your memory, and stuff. So, and great for the skin, hair, and everything, of course. So it's got multiple benefits to it. I'm gonna now go ahead real quick and put these. Put them. I've got a little plate here. You see the little bowl on the inside? It's one of my son's old bowls. So that's gonna be for the dip. You can use whatever dip you'd like. In all reality, I'm going to use ranch because, I mean, ranch and vegetables just go perfectly together. So, I mean, you can use whatever you like. A vinaigrette, ranch, blue cheese, ketchup if you want. Whatever your heart desires as your sauce, go for it, you know? And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. So, on my platter, first things first, sit that there. Get the rest of these mushrooms out. They are done. I want to give them another swirl real quick. Okay. Get some of that extra grease. Look at them, guys. Like, aren't they like super cute? They're little mushrooms, like little fried mushrooms. I feel like I'm about to grow because I'm short. Super Mario ate mushrooms and he grew. Why can't I? I don't know. Anyways, so last batch of mushrooms going in. Gotta get those shrooms in there. Everybody in the bath. Alrighty. Y'all don't mind me, like, I'm crazy. Just a bit psycho. You either love me or you hate me. Alright, so I am now going to take this glove off. Done with that. Got 2 green tomatoes. And I'm debating on if I really want to cut them both. But I'm going to cut them both. So, yeah. Alright. I'm going to first chop this top off, okay? And then green tomatoes are literally just tomatoes that are not as ripe. And these are actually very important to make sure that you definitely want to put them in that salt water. Like, that really, really will help these because it gives them some extra flavor. I'm going to go ahead and cut both of them pretty much now before I grab my mushrooms out. Okay. I like cutting nice thick slices for my green tomatoes. They're just like super, they'll be like nice and meaty almost. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, get these mushrooms out. I think I'm allergic to like recording, y'all, because every time I record, my nose itches. It's like an allergic reaction, I swear. I don't know if it's nerves or what it is. By the way, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all know I hate cooking. Reality is, I really do hate cooking. However, as much as I hate cooking, I love to eat. I really, really love to eat. So, that requires me to cook. Because going out to eat all the time gets expensive. And the amount of money that I put out on food, because despite how skinny I am, I eat a lot. I have a son that despite how skinny he is, he eats a lot. So, that's a whole lot of money. The amount of money that I put out going out to eat, I can put out on groceries and have at least 2 extra plates outside of what I got going out to eat somewhere. Let me tell you, it was a bad idea to put 2 of these tomatoes in here at the same time. They both taking up way too much space. Okay? Alright. Give it a little shake and drop it on in. I'm going to go ahead and get this one done. Ooh, it's getting bubbly in there. Y'all, I'm like super excited about these fried green tomatoes. Now, tomatoes can soak up flavor. Most people use cornstarch when they fry their green tomatoes and use like a ton of salt. To be honest, I don't like salty like fried green tomatoes, and the cornstarch really holds that salt. So that's the reason I'm not using cornstarch on my fried green tomatoes, okay? If you want, of course, obviously, it's your food. It's what you want to eat. That's on you. But you probably have an issue if you want cornstarch all over your fried green tomatoes. Unpopular opinion. Oh well. Okay. So, while those are frying, this one's almost done. What do you want to... My main thing is really just trying to get those edges to create a nice crust on it. Now, mind you, another thing that I will say is these, especially the tomatoes, because the tomatoes are so meaty, they will end up getting some extra seasoning on them. So while those are frying, let me go ahead and take these, put these on the platter. Like, it's all fried. Great for like little parties, great finger foods. If you have kids, you know, and you're gonna give them fried stuff, like, why not give them fried vegetables? Most kids ain't gonna eat fried vegetables. Most kids don't even eat vegetables. Luckily, I started my son out super early on vegetables, so he loves vegetables. We eat vegetables. So yeah. All right. I got a tomato floating. It's ready, y'all. I gotta catch it. I gotta catch it. Look at that. That turned out so gorgeous. You can still see some of that green color a bit. It's got a nice coating on the outside. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Make sure the other one isn't in here drowning somewhere. Alright, he in there good. So, out of everything, the fried green tomatoes will take the longest, depending on how thick you cut them. Like I said, reality is cutting them in thicker pieces, I prefer, simply just because of how meaty they are, the juiciness. Like, you're still gonna have some juiciness, you're gonna have that crunch factor, you're gonna have that, you know, juiciness from the tomato itself. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna finish these up. Nonetheless, I'm going to show you guys these. Oh my gosh, like, I'm like super excited and ready to just kind of dig in and get in here with these things. And on top of that, while those are still hot, I'm going to add some salt to them. Just a pinch of salt, because this is Celtic salt, so like I said, you guys, like, it's very healthy for you. I tell you guys that in all my videos. Nonetheless, you really do not need a lot of this. Very healthy, super salty. Ooh, it's hot. Yet I'm gonna do it anyways. Ooh. All right, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna get that range out. A part of me, I'm gonna be honest, y'all, a part of me wants hot sauce on these. Like, that's another good thing. Like, you can put hot sauce on it. Like, you can make different sauces if you want. Excuse you, ranch. Nobody told you to be squirting out like that. Don't get on my shirt. We will fight. All right. So, ranch. Oh, this is done. This one's done. I can take him out. He ain't bubbling no more, y'all. Alright? So, nonetheless, that's actually pretty much everything. I will, of course, finish my fried green tomatoes. But I'm going to let you guys see what this looks like. Okay? I gotta move y'all so y'all can see. You see this platter here? Like, it's beautiful. You got your mushrooms, you got your fried green tomatoes, and your fried peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and dip that in the ranch, yeah. Oh, good. I like mushrooms. A lot of people don't like mushrooms, but I like mushrooms. And those peppers are, oh my gosh, those are delicious. You got that sweet from the pepper itself. You got the salty and the pepperiness from the batter. Oh my goodness. And then the ranch, what? And the mushrooms. Oh, the mushrooms are good too. Yeah, that's a good mushroom. It's hot, y'all. It's hot. Okay, I'm going. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yo, like, these tomatoes are like hot, but they're gonna stay hot the longest because they do have like liquid inside. Delicious. I love fried green tomatoes. Okay, but oh my gosh, y'all, I'm about to go to work on this plate. Okay. Okay. Focus. Nonetheless, thank you guys. It's DIY time. Fried Fridays. Come back next week. Find something else good. I don't know what I'm making next week. However, subscribe, like, share, comment. You want to see me fry something, if you want to see something specific that you've seen elsewhere and you want me to recreate it or something like that, leave a comment. Yeah, follow me on Instagram also at DIY Thai. All right, thanks guys.